6 hours instruction before I soloed. And then I never got with an instructor again for about 3 or 4 months. But I bought this airplane, that little T-craft there, and I was flying around the country, picking up a fare here and there, and trying to get into the flying business. Well, he was flying a Luscombe Observer, which was an observer that they used in the military for artillery spotting, and it had a bubble in the back of it, just like the bubble windshield, you know. I didn't like that bubble back there. And he was coming back to Eagle. He had one passenger on and a bunch of big chainsaw and some other junk. And it's just a two-place airplane, you know. But he had all this stuff in the baggage area. And I doubt if it was tied down. Anyway, they were coming back across and they ran into this front just before they got to Eagle in the Ogilvie Mountains. And the weather just went down to hell, and rougher than the devil. And there was another guy named Holly Evans that was had flown a load out there to the cat train and was coming back. And he ran into that same weather, but he had a 180. And he said it was the roughest trip he was ever in. He'd been flying up here a long time. And so, anyway, when Punk didn't show up in Eagle, the next day I started out looking for him. And I went out and caught up with the cat train, and I was flying a 180 then too for the freight line. And so I found the cat train and talked to them. They didn't have no communication on, but I landed close by and talked to them. And they said, well, he left there, you know, the day before, and he never got into Eagle. And so I searched all around Eagle and down the Hall Road as far as, you know, from where the cat train was back into Eagle. Well, this happened in late November, and at Christmas time we gave up, and they all went home. And I came home at Christmas too, but I went right back about 3 days after Christmas, and I kept on searching. And we didn't find him until the next April, when the sun started coming out. And this airplane, the wings were painted red, so it showed up and it contracted the heat good. And it was in kind of small spruce up on this side of this hill, about maybe 40 or 50 yards off the road. And so he was following the road down, and he was only 11 miles out of Eagle. And when we found the airplane, it had gone in upside down, and all this stuff that was supposed to be in it wasn't in it. And he was laying out on the wing about halfway, and he was dead. He killed on when he hit the ground. He went in upside down. And what happened to the airplane, we think that the bubble came out in the back in that rough air. This engine cover went out first, and it wrapped around the tail, and he lost complete control of it, you know. He couldn't have no control over it anymore. And it blanked the tail out. And then it probably turned upside down and dumped the stuff and the passenger all out, because we found him about 1.5 miles from where the airplane was. You know, I got to where, you know, what happened happened. It's in the past. You can't do anything about it. About then I got to be a firm believer into hanging up a pendulum and loading this side with things that were against you for this flight and this side with things that were for you. they didn't balance out, you better do something to balance you out. If it went to your side, then you're okay. You know, it'd be just circumstances like what's the weather, what's the temperature, what's, you know, where are you going into, everything. You just weigh that all out and kind of balance the scales on your favor. And if you can't do it, then you got to do something to change that balance. If it means canceling the trip, well, that's the way it goes. And I kind of lived by that all my career.